hide your kids, lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Kids, you know what time it is. It's time for a little bump. This is the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Cheeseman. Joined as always, Chad Sowash is in the house. And we're excited to announce some new stuff from Visage. Huh? Visage is in the house for this bump.
What?
Visage.
No, it's Visage. You crazy so American you. Oh my God.
Visage. Yes, Joel says Visage. Visage. Our friends at Visage have just dropped a bomb in the acquisition news cycle, Chad. They bought Rolebot.
Yes.
Rolebot we talked about back in 22, I think. They raised some money. Interesting to me was Jason Calacanis was an investor. Jason is pretty well known in Silicon Valley. He's got the All In podcast. A lot of people know. We tried to get Jason on the show. It didn't work, but we love the company. We love what they're doing. We got Joss. We got Joss for this.
Joss Leufrancois.
Yes. Let's get the deets on this acquisition.
Hi, I'm Joss Leufrancois, co-founder and CEO of Visage. You may have heard we just merged with Rolebot. And no, this is not because we needed a new name, Joel. We are still going to be operating under the Visage brand. The reason for the merger, however, is pretty simple. As you know, Visage was great at candidate matching and engagement. And with the Rolebot tech, we get access to this instant AI sourcing that we were missing. Together, we can now deliver what we call interview-ready candidates, and we can do that with minimal or no recruiter input. We call that autopilot. It's not the same as co-pilot, where, recruiters still have to play part-time Boolean search experts, resume matcher, part-time email marketers. With us is job in, talent out. So customers don't even need to log in our product if they don't want to. We grab the job from the ATS and push back candidates once they are ready to interview. Think of it like programmatic advertising, except that we fish out of barrel and only qualified candidates will come through.
Now, when he says Visage, it sounds so much better than when you and I say it. I mean,
everything he says sounds better than when you and I say it.
Yes. And the fishing out of the barrel example, and only qualified candidates will come through. Qualified, that's specific, not quality or started application. Qualified candidates. Finally, a company speaking my language. Plus, he's French, so everything sounds better. I love the idea of what they were doing in the first place. They're taking two organizations who are really focused in and around on the same thing, merging them, and next thing you know, you've got better product out of it. So he sounds great. You've got great product. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah. So many times we see these sort of, round peg, square hole, or however that analogy works. And this is one of those acquisitions where it's a piece they need. It's similar business. Like it just fits like a hand in a glove. So those tend to work out much better than the ones that try to force technology into stuff that doesn't currently exist. Now,
and they're sticking with Visage instead of Rolebot, Joel. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it inspires me to want to get on Babbel and learn a little French. My wife's French Canadian. I could, whisper sweet nothings in French in her ear, which probably isn't a good idea either way. I'm digressing.
I also think it doesn't paint them into a corner when you're Rolebot, right? I mean, that to some extent paints you into a corner.
Yes.
But Visage does not. So I think that choice is also pretty smart.
Visage can be anything. It could be anything. It sounds like a great restaurant, and Joss is serving up some good AI to everybody. So curious. So again, the trust thing comes in. Can you trust this thing? Yeah. Let's hear Joss's comment on the trust issue.
We keep hearing that candidates and employers don't fully trust automation. It's true that the stakes are pretty high in talent acquisition. It's the company first impression. And too often products have been implemented and rushed and they created real problems. If you remember, we had that AI that was unfairly screening out underrepresented groups. So used poorly definitely can damage trust. However, if it's used thoughtfully, it builds it actually. I believe one of you mentioned in the Challenges podcast that one of your kids prefer to apply using brands that use Paradox, fast food brands, because the process felt smoother and more respectful. That's what good automation does. And we see it with us, with candidate and personalization at scale. We had a hire done by Siemens that said, I never replied to recruiter's email, but this one actually sounded like it was written for me. And spoiler alert, it was, by OAI, but it was indeed very personalized. And same for, the user, the customers, when they tell us, I don't want to review 500 resumes. I just want 5 candidates that can do the job. And that's what we are able to do in less than 10 minutes. So trust, is not the issue. It's more, we got to do the automation the right way.
I love the word respect. I love the word respect. It's not used enough in the process. We talked about trust and is this going to hurt me in a new way? But respect, we on our high horses of employment, people need us. They need our jobs. There's the lack of respect. And that was my son that he was talking about. And there really is. People are taking time out of their day. They may be unemployed. They may have gone through a whole lot of interviews or jobs that didn't accept them. To get a little bit of respect, a little bit of humanity in the process really does mean a lot. And I love the word. I love that he used the word respect there.
Yeah. I like where he said trust is not the problem. You just have to do the automation in the right way. That's where the MIT research that we talked about in the last episode comes into play, and where MIT found that 95% of generative AI pilot programs fail to deliver any measurable ROI. Mm-hmm. But as you dig deeper, it was mainly because leadership is forcing AI into the process instead of bringing in experts to implement and re-engineer the process. So that's what Joss is saying. AI isn't the problem. Humans without the proper experience and know-how, that's the problem.
Amen. So what do you think is next for Visage? I want to know what the future holds.
Good question.
So let's talk about the future. This is probably what I'm the most excited about. And this is what you can expect. Autopilot, so end-to-end autopilot recruiting, which is very different from, Copilot and AI assistant that you've seen elsewhere. So what we do is we orchestrate a team of AI agents that handle sourcing, scoring, matching, and outreach completely autonomously. Give us a job, go and do something else, and wait for the candidates to come back, interview ready. So this is our vision. We want you to spend 10 minutes maximum on each job and not 6 or 8 hours sourcing for the pipeline. The second thing is really explain why each candidate were picked. So every candidate will come with why this person highlight. So recruiters and hiring manager can trust the recommendation and just proceed. And then finally, hyper personalization and engagement at scale. Get in front of the potential candidates, and have those emails feel like it was written by your best recruiter on their best day every single time. And this is not really it. We are not stopping at sourcing. Our vision is to get to job description all the way to shortlist in 10 minutes flat. And that's just not faster recruiting. It's a different category that we are trying to build here.
Sexy.
Oh, giggity, giggity, giggity,
good. Dude, orchestrate a team of AI agents. He hit orchestration, AI, and agents all in one sentence. Gotta love a little keyword density happening naturally in the pit. Anyway, there's no reason a recruiter should be spending hours sourcing for a rec. Again, if you're taking the time to perform the appropriate research to set up a system, implode your current less effective processes. Now, let's be real. Not every company is going to be comfortable with autonomous process, with autopilot. But that's why you walk, not run right out of the gate into using these platforms. You have experts take you by the hand, demonstrate effectiveness, and then give them a little more AI rope. So this isn't about will companies use AI agents and other automated processes in the hiring process. It's more about how quickly you can beat your competitors, because if you can do that, you can get to the best talent faster.
Yeah, he talks about automation, and that's going to be a buzzword. Agents are going to be in automation, but I heard a lot of augmentation there. I heard a lot of like, don't waste your time doing the sourcing piece, the whole, like all that stuff that takes time. Be a human being. Talk to these folks, talk to candidates. That's really the key to success. And I think Visage is on the right track, Chad. If you want to learn more, go to visage.jobs. Tell them Chad and Cheese sent you. Get a demo. You owe it to yourself to do that. Chad, that's another one. Another bump in the can. We out.
We out.